In today's OSAAP Technologies tutorial, I will show you how to use the BlueSlicer STL tool slicer software. Start by clicking Load STL and select your tool. Make sure that the tool's orientation is how you want it to sit in your shadow board. If it isn't, you can use the Tools in the Tools tab. If your tool needs to be flipped over, click the 180 flip icon. For more precise rotation, you can use the Fine Plus button and the Fine Minus button. Alternatively, you can input the number of degrees that you want it to rotate, then click the X, Y, or Z degrees tool, depending on which axis you want your tool to rotate on. Since part of this tool sits lower than the rest of it, we will want a separate depth cutout for that part. It is important to remember to start from the bottom and then move up while slicing. In the Manual Slicer tab, drag the slider to capture only the part that hangs lower. This graphic on the right side will help you isolate just the part that you want. Click Slice to create the cutout. This cutout will be in the shape of the outline of the entire tool. However, if you need foam to fill the hollow sections within your selection, hold Ctrl while clicking. If needed, continue adding slices until you have enough to support your tool. For the final slice, click To Top to finish slicing and make a cutout for the rest of the tool. Click Save Tool and save it as a .tool file for Blue Shadow. In Blue Shadow, you can drag in the .tool file onto a board. In the 3D view, you can see the multiple depth cutouts that we created in the slicer. If you have an object that is thicker than 90 mm, you will need to create one or more cut-throughs. This process involves slicing the object into separate pieces before bringing them into BlueSlicer. Open your object in 3D Builder, a free application available in the Microsoft Online Store. If your object is outlined in red, it means that it is invalidly defined and needs to be repaired. Simply click the box with the wrench icon in the lower right corner to repair the model. For this process, you will want your object orientation to be upside down compared to how you want it to sit in the shadow board. Make sure that your object is selected, then in the Edit tab, click Split. Make sure that Keep Both is selected. Bring the slicing plane to the bottom of the object. Copy the slice measurement and then subtract 90 from it to see where the first split should be. Insert the result of this calculation and click Split. This will create the first cut. If you need more than one split, repeat the process, bringing the slicing plane to the bottom each time. Select the top piece, click Split, and bring the slicing plane down to the bottom of the piece. Again, copy the slice measurement and subtract 90. Insert this result and click Split. When you are finished splitting your object, export each piece separately. You can do this by deleting all except one piece. Click Save As and save the piece as an STL file. Then, press Ctrl-Z to undo and bring back the rest of the pieces. Repeat this process until you have exported each piece separately. Bring your first piece into BlueSlicer. Click To Top, then save as a .tool file. Repeat with the rest of the pieces. Drag all of your .tool files into Blue Shadow. In the 3D view, you can check that the process has worked properly. This concludes our tutorial of the BlueSlicer STL Tool Slicer software.